When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocco's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocco's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 and Gage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
It's the season for brand new mulch, and Brown's Tree Service has got your yard covered. Brown's Tree Service utilizes hardwood mulch that retains more moisture. Not only does mulch make your yard more appealing, it also reduces weeds, improves soil, and creates insulation for plants. Get the right mulch for your job at Brown's Tree Service. They shred it, haul it, and spread it in bulk. Or you can haul it yourself for the personal touch to your property. Call Brown's Tree Service at 785-379-9212 or visit online at brownstreeservicelc.com.
It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Preferred Advisors.
Good Saturday morning to you. This is Carrie Brown, Associate Broker with eXp Realty and the Preferred Advisors team, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I am here with my co-host for this month. Her name is Tammy Theissen with Theissen Design Company. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here today.
So we are going to be posting out on our social media, so be sure and look at Preferred Advisors team and Theissen Design Company, and share your crazy pictures or just pictures of like, hey, I wish I knew what to do with this. And if we pick you, we'll be talking about it on the radio shows during the month. So we won't be able to address all of them, but then again, we might. So be sure and watch for that. Just plug in that before I forget. So, Tammy, how long have you been doing this?
I got started in design actually through doing our home renovation. So before that, I was in the advertising world doing marketing and graphic design, and then we gutted and remodeled our house, a 35-year-old home, and then I never went back. I just went straight from doing that with a career change, and now run a remodeling and construction design company. So we've had our own company for, 2.5 years, and I worked previously for another company prior to this.
And just in case you missed the last show that I had Tammy on, you also work with your dad and your brother, and they do the construction side? Is that correct? So
my brother, runs the construction side. So we have what's a true design build process. So if someone calls, they're going to meet me first, and we're going to brainstorm and lay out everything and figure out what they really want out of the space. And then what's so awesome about our process is then that goes seamlessly into our build. So Daniel Carlson, he is my brother, and he runs our construction side. So he is the one implementing everything we've designed and created for the space. And what we've really realized is that, we're able then to execute perfectly on all of the design ideas that we have. And so that's a great process.
Okay, so everybody always has a preconceived notion as far as when it comes to businesses, as far, talking about, okay, well, they wouldn't want to do this job because it's too small. What would you say to those people?
I get this question a ton, if people are reaching out to us of like, I don't know, we do a lot of full home remodels, meaning we're removing walls and doing a kitchen and a whole main floor. And so we do a lot of that, but we also do like a powder bath. And so if people have, any size projects, we're working on them. Our goal isn't really about the size of the project. Our goal is about working with really great people and then making what can be such an overwhelming and complicated process really enjoyable and simple for people. So that's why we go to work every day. That's what we love doing. A hall bathroom, any of that, we love all kinds of projects.
So prior to recording, we were kind of joking around, and I was telling her that some people think, oh, well, she's too busy talking about me. Yeah. Surely you wouldn't have time for me. And I want to tell you, and I'm sure Tammy's going to say the same thing, stop it. That's what we do. Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter the price point. This is what we do, and we thrive on stuff. I mean, we have to stay busy.
Yes. Yes, yeah. No, you and I realized before this interview that we're very much the same in that way. We love meeting people and doing projects and getting a lot cranked out. So yeah, that's exactly what I would tell people too. No, nothing's out of the scope. We love it all.
And we were both talking that if we did have a slowdown period where we weren't juggling all these balls, we just end up getting sick anyway. So staying busy is better for our health.
Every time that happens to me, for sure. That's too funny.
So, okay, let's say someone's got a powder bath. Actually, no, let's not do that. You had posted on social media a bathroom you had done, and so it had to have been like a 1920s home.
Yes.
So long and narrow.
Yeah. Yes. And had a closet tub in it.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And it is crazy what you took and made into this gorgeous bathroom, and it didn't look tiny anymore.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting project because the homeowner called me and they live, in like a 1920s home, and they had the original closet tub, and the whole time they had lived there, they had never had a shower. But really realized, like, we want a shower, and we have this tiny footprint. They wanted to keep the closet tub. They wanted to also include a shower, and then, we still have to fit in a toilet and a vanity and all of that. And she's like, I'll hire you if you guys can figure out a great way to do this. And so it's probably the most complicated space planning I've ever done. But also because of it, it's got to be one of my favorite projects ever because the end result was just beautiful. Everything looked like it should have been there the whole time. And we were able to preserve some of this really beautiful history of, like, keeping that closet tub. So, yeah, check us out. We have it posted on our Instagram page and Facebook and everything. So if you're curious about that project, definitely check it out.
And that is Theissen Design Co. And Theissen is Thiessen.
Yep, you got it.
I didn't butcher it.
Yep.
Look at that. So the Theissen Design Co. I've been following you forever, and I look at that and think, oh, wow. You did a bedroom recently, and it was dark, it was just dark. And you took it and made it look really light and very airy and kind of like vacation-ish,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think for a long time, design got, like, unapproachable. It got really formal and stiff and all of that. And so that's kind of one of the things I think that we've built our reputation on is just having this really comfortable, approachable, you kind of call it beachy. Like, I hope everyone who, we work for, they just feel like it's a place to retreat to, that it, feels cozy for them and beautiful.
And for those of you that follow me, my office, I literally have an ocean mural on my wall because I live in Kansas, and that's, I said, fine, if you won't let me move to the ocean, we're hanging this.
I loved it when I saw you post that. I mean, your office is like a dream for getting things done and so calming with that big mural.
Yeah, except for I have like 6 screens. So my husband's like,
you have to turn around to see the ocean to feel calm.
My husband's like, this isn't NASA. And I'm like, but I can have this on this screen and this on this screen, and I don't have to flip between them. And I even found a mouse.
It goes back to our earliest point about you liking to be a little bit busy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I even found a mouse that works between my 2 laptops, so I only have to have one. So I feel like I'm in hog heaven over this mouse.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't either. One of my high school friends, which I didn't grow up here, I grew up about 8.5 hours south of here, and she was like, oh, you have to get this mouse, because she saw the whole layout, and I was like,
oh my
goodness. That's just amazing.
That's unbelievable. Yes. That's awesome.
So, I mean, it really boils down to whenever you walk into a room, you don't feel like you need a nap. You feel revived and energetic, and, you're just like, this is cool.
Yeah, and I think it should be a reflection of the homeowner. I mean, we obviously bring our aesthetic to the project, but we work really hard to get to know the clients and the homeowners and make sure what we're designing is going to work for their family and the lifestyle that they have, and bring their own point of view into the project too.
Yeah, and I mean, even if your style isn't beachy or vacation style and you are a little bit more formal, obviously you guys can cater to what they want and make it look how they want.
Absolutely, yeah. We spend a lot of time, and our team talks about it, how important it is to listen, to make sure that we're hearing what the client's saying between the lines. And, good design, we all see the pretty pictures and, the beautiful selections we've made, but quality design really starts prior to that, when we're space planning, when we're, all the bathroom you referenced, all of the same selections could have been made for the tile and the vanity and the countertop, but if that space plan didn't work out well, that bathroom would have fallen flat, and so our team spends so much time going over all those details that aren't seen, but that make the space really shine.
Do you guys ever take furniture, like say for instance, they're like, listen, I want this to look this way, but I want to repurpose some of the furniture. Do you ever take it and give it a fresh look?
Absolutely. And, sometimes people want to incorporate antiques that they've been having, or, sometimes that's preserving cabinetry and getting it painted, or a special family piece, or just something that we always had. And, honestly, I think our best projects are when we're incorporating some pieces that the homeowners have had forever. So we love that challenge, and we love incorporating those things too.
So whenever I was getting towards the end of last month with Holly and Jennifer Harrider, Dr. Harrider from Oasis Family Medicine, and we Tammy and I are a part of this women's business owners group, and one of the girls in there was talking about having her come out and redo a room in her house. And I was like, oh, and if you don't love it, I'll just list it. So we were joking, okay, let's do a love it or list it show segment. So if you send us a design or send us an area and say, if this can't be made into what I want, or say I decide, okay, now you've made my house this valuable and I could take that equity and go buy something else. If you would like to participate in that, obviously we're not paying for the design, but it would be fun to feature you if you wanted to do that. So be sure and let us know if you do. You can just go out and hit us up on social media. Or you can give us a call. My cell phone number is 785-213-5188. Tammy, what's yours?
785-220-8707.
And just tell us you heard it on the radio show and you want to be one of the people that we talk to. So,
yes, that would be so fun.
She was just saying, I live in this little house, and it would be so great if somebody would just come in and make it what I want. And obviously, I mean, that's what every homeowner wants. There's not too many people that look at every single room in their house and say, okay, this is perfect. This is the way I want everything to be. It would be perfect if that was always that way. But even whenever I'm showing houses, someone's settling in some way because it's just not the perfect house unless you build.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and what's interesting about building versus buying, I think sometimes, whether you remodel the house that you're currently in or you buy a house with the idea that you would remodel it, I think sometimes you're able to maybe get a bigger lot or a property that you really love if you're willing to kind of buy that house with the idea that you will go forward and do a major remodel on it. And that's where, someone like Terry can really educate you on what that area can handle as far as price tag with a remodel. But we do that a lot for people, actually, who intentionally purchase a house to remodel it.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, whenever we bought ours, we've literally just chunked it out a little bit at a time because ours was at foreclosure. And as far as foreclosures go, it was actually in really, really good shape. But at the same time, it was like, we didn't have big enough bedrooms on one side and we had 3 kids. And so we added space to it. And we're both pretty handy as far as being able to fix things and build things and do stuff like that, and have resources and friends and things like that, you know, you've done something for them, they help you out on the other side. So
Yep.
we lucked out and had a budget that we could afford to do that, because we are actually pretty miserly, believe it or not, including putting our pool in ourselves. So, and it's
my goodness, you have?
Yeah.
I am so impressed.
In ground, and it's a big one. So, because my husband wanted to eat up yard, he didn't want to mow all of it. So,
That's amazing. Oh my goodness, I love knowing that.
yeah, so we get a kick out of stuff like that. So,
how long does it take you to put in a pool? I digress, but I just have to know. Is that? I mean, that just sounds fascinating.
It took him, I think, he's done several since then. For clients of mine that, we obviously sold them a house and they were like, oh, we need a pool because it's not something we normally advertise. And I want to say it took a week, probably. Ours, on the other hand, was, we had back orders and all kinds of craziness going on, and we were trying to hit a kid's birthday. And our contractor stopped showing up. So we, you go to Google and YouTube at that point. So,
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he always said, I wish we'd have done somebody else's first, because any mistakes that were made on ours. But, yeah, it's so he owns Brown's Tree Service. You wouldn't think the two were related, but he does know how to put an in-ground pool in. So,
amazing.
Yeah. And
that's so cool.
We added about 1,000 square feet to our house. And,
oh, my.
Yeah. And he put the trusses and built it, and actually him and our neighbor and his brother did the majority of it. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, the dude's got some skills.
Yes, I'm like, you probably have the eye for what a house can be then if you've done all of those things for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I always joke because whenever I'm showing somebody, you can always tell whenever they glaze over, because I'm like, that wall doesn't look load-bearing, but if it is, there could be a header. And can you imagine how much it opens everything up? And
right.
And if this were a different color and you did this style, and instead of having those doors, you could put in pocket doors so that way they're not in the way, because you'd have to take this out. They're like, oh, my goodness.
You're speaking my language right there. You are to me, at least.
Yeah. So it's really fun. I mean, you can go in and like really look at something and see what it could be.
Yes.
And obviously, I am not the professional, because I would still tell you, hey, here's Tammy Theissen's phone number. I'll sell you the house to get you a good deal. But
yes. Oh, I know.
We're going to take a quick break from a word from our sponsors, and we will be right back to talk more about designing and how you can let us know if your house is one you want to have featured on the show.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocco's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocco's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 Engage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
At SportsMomsUnited.com, we celebrate every athlete and support every sports mom. SportsMomsUnited.com is on a mission to put logic back in youth sports. When you ask young athletes why they play sports, their number one answer is fun. For them, that means being on a team, making new friends, having a good time, all of which are awesome memories. We add to the memories by featuring an athlete of the day and sharing their story. Nominate an athlete today at www.sportsmomsunited.com.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Carrie Brown, Associate Broker of eXp Realty and the Preferred Advisors team, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I am back with Tammy Theissen with the Theissen Design Company. And so, tell me, on the Love It or List It, obviously, we would love for you to send us some pictures. Send it to social media. You can hit Tammy's or you can hit mine. Mine's Preferred Advisors Team, and Tammy's is Theissen Design Company. Send those over and tell us what you think, and we can kind of play with that. But also, just real quick, because I know funny stories are always great, what is the most surprising thing you've found while you were renovating a property?
Well, I have to tell you real quick that one of my friends just sent me this hilarious meme, because that's what we're doing right now. And you know how all of the hairstylists are like, please do not cut bangs, please do not bleach your hair during this time, like, let me fix it. And she's like, I know that you are going to run into a million DIY things gone wrong in the, next few months as we come out of it, because everyone's had so much time. So I may have a really good story. I was actually at a client's house today, and I mean, it's just hilarious, but she spray painted this mirror and was going for this like beautiful gold, and of course it's like this crazy brass, and she's like, I just need to wait till you bought me this. So those are like the funny little things that I think we're all doing right now. But I did have this renovation that we did, and in the same bathroom there were 2 toilets, and it's not a bidet and a toilet, but it was just straight 2 toilets. And I am trying to wrap my head around, in what scenario do you need 2 toilets in the same bathroom in the same room, like not separated, one toilet room, one not. So we definitely captured some of that space and did a bigger shower and all of that. But yeah, you just run into hilarious things all the time on how people have done things.
Yeah, that makes you wonder if maybe somebody was a germaphobe and was like, listen, I'm not sharing. Or,
maybe, yeah.
Or kids that refuse to get along. I don't know.
Right. But they were like looking at each other, and I'm just thinking, surely these are never used at the same time, right? Like, that would just be weird. Yeah,
no boundaries.
Really funny. I know, no boundaries, but separate toilets. So
I always get a kick out of the older homes that have the shower head and a drain, and then a toilet just random in the basement, no enclosures at all. And
right, yes.
And you think, whenever they were putting that in, what were they thinking exactly? We just go to the basement and just can't have any confining spaces. We just got to go.
Just right there.
Right there. You just never know.
You never know.
The other thing that I think is different. Obviously, I think back in the day, armoires and things of those nature were a really happening thing, because, like, the closets themselves are your typical coat closets.
Yes, yes.
And I just keep thinking, well, so everybody was allowed 3 items of clothing, and that way it would all fit. So.
Yes. Oh, I know. They're so tiny. We've done a couple where we've ended up taking a small bedroom and converting it to the master wing to get people a bigger walk-in closet in those situations where they're teeny tiny otherwise.
And the older homes, do you ever just look at the attic and think, this is it, this is where I'm going to put everything for a master suite? Because it's wide open, and you're so run the water up. That's what I do. Know. But when you're older, it's like, I'm not going up those stairs, but I just think, wow, look at all that space that could be used. I know.
And attic space is so neat, There's just some charm to it, I think.
So have you started getting any questions yet?
Yeah, actually. So on our Instagram and Facebook, we had posted that question of just, if you're thinking about selling or remodeling, what are some of the questions that you had? And one of them came through, and I thought it was a good one. Can I take out the tub in my master bathroom? Will that hurt me on resale is what they're asking. And so I think, a little more on that story is that their shower is a little bit smaller, and they'd like to make that bigger, but then they'd have to remove a tub. So wondering what your thoughts are on that. That's the question that came through actually a couple times today.
Honestly, in master bathrooms, it seems like anytime I'm showing it, most of the time, and I'm going to say at least 9 times out of 10, They say, I don't know why they put those in houses anymore. Nobody takes baths. And then there's that one that says, I love to take baths.
Yep.
So I think it was a really happening thing there for a while, but for the most part, everybody's really more into the huge walk-in showers, and more vanity space. And so, no, I don't think so. I think the biggest thing, and I tell people this all the time, as long as you have a hallway bath that has a bathtub, and you have to consider people with small kids. I mean, or dogs, you got to be able to put them in the tub.
Yep. I echo you exactly. That's what how I would have responded, not being obviously the realtor expert, but just knowing, we do design for new construction too, what current trends are. And I mean, a lot of people in a new construction house aren't even putting a bathtub, as long as what you said, is true, that there's a bathtub, a hall bathtub that someone can use for little kids or dogs. Other than that, those big showers are where it's at, for luxury and what people are wanting. That's what we're seeing a lot of. Now, there's always those really pretty standalone tubs for those people that do, the one person that really loves the tubs. There are pretty standalone tubs that you can do kind of in place of those really gigantic ones. And usually those are a little bit smaller because they don't have all the decking around them. And so you can oftentimes still grow your shower and get a smaller footprint from a standalone tub if you are the type of person that wants a bigger shower but still wants the, bathtub in the master. So that's the thought too.
Absolutely. And so as far as work that you see most common, which ones would you say you do the most of? Master baths, kitchens? Which do you see the most of?
We do a ton of kitchens. I would say kitchens are kind of our entry project with clients. We really love our clients and end up building really, really good relationships with them. And so, some of our clients I'm actually thinking through, and I'm like, yep, we started on their kitchen and then we did their master bathroom. So I think people often start with a kitchen because it's really seen in a space. If there's a type of people that like to host, they're going to be hosting right away in that space. So I think it's oftentimes what people get excited about remodeling first. And then oftentimes we move into their, master bathroom and kind of do that area as a second project.
My husband, we were talking, we have this water spigot, and if you've listened to the show very long, you know that obviously when we bought a foreclosure, we had this one water spigot that we thought, wow, that would be really convenient for the garden, and he tried turning it on, and it shot water through our kitchen. So, I always say God just kind of had mercy on us and said, they're stupid, we're not going to mess with them. Because all the stuff we found, I could go on for days, but because we were told that we couldn't, or that if we did inspections, it wasn't going to make any difference. So we were like, oh, fine, we'll just wing it, and we did. So anyway, we were talking about the soffit over the cabinets because that was the style back then, and I'm like, I know. Whenever he looked at my face, and you could just see the light bulb go off, and I thought, I wonder if we took those out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything there?
Was there? Probably not.
We haven't done it yet. I'm dying to do it.
Yes, do it. We do that on the daily. When we're redoing kitchens, that's usually the first thing we talk about. And what's so funny about that style for a while is that it actually costs more money for your builder to do that originally. Because the framer comes in and frames the whole house, and then your cabinets were installed, and then the framer came back and built out those soffits and re-sheetrocked them. So it's this funny thing that we're all like, we can get taller cabinets now, and we're removing all of those. And at one point, someone loved them enough that they actually spent extra money on them. But I would tell you, if you're thinking about doing it, I don't think to date we've ever found a soffit that has anything that's not just super easy thing to move. So I think they're almost always empty. So
I'm going to go home and I'm going to say, Tammy says this is probably empty.
Yes, do it.
All right, we are out of time. Be sure and send us your pictures, and we will pick some, any kind of questions you might have. And thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Preferred Advisors.